Hi, my name is Michael Reese and you're watching Dr. Vang's Introduction to Sociology tutorial video. While watching this video, try not to take an ethnocentric approach to viewing it. So in other words, try not to use your culture as a yardstick and compare it to the skateboarding subculture. Typically, when this happens, people develop a negative attitude towards a certain culture or subculture that they're judging. A good way to reduce this is to try to practice cultural relativism. In this practice, you're not judging a culture, but you're typically trying to understand it on its own terms. The first thing we're going to look at is language. Skateboarders have their own language, meaning that they create their own words to describe different events.
Man, these ledges are so buttery, like how you not gonna skate it? Like, you see toes, you're not gonna put anything on it?
A big example of this is the word banger. For example, when a normal person outside of the skateboarding subculture might hear the word banger, they might think something else. But when a skateboarder says the word banger, what they mean is that somebody's landed a really hard trick. The second thing we're going to look at is values. Skateboarders value skating really good spots, meaning that there are tons of spots that aren't so good, and those are the spots that we would prefer to skate less. For example, a spot might have a crack that makes the spot unskateable, or there might be grind stoppers on a ledge that means that we won't be able to grind it. So usually when we run into those spots, we try to skate other places. The third thing we're going to look at is beliefs. A major belief in the skateboarding subculture is that there are no restrictions on who could be a part of it. The cool thing about this is that it means that it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what gender you are, what socioeconomic background you come from. As long as you like to skate, you can be a part of the subculture. The fourth thing we're going to look at is the material involved in the skateboarding subculture. Two of the big objects involved in skateboarding are your skateboard and your shoes. At first, shoes might not seem too important, but there are certain shoes that are actually designed to have more grip on the bottom so that you have a higher chance of staying on your skateboard. The next thing we're going to look at is the norms involved in the skateboarding subculture. The norms are interesting because they usually involve a lot of joking around, being creative, exploring for new spots, and landing tricks. Positive sanctions are the rewards or praises that come after following a norm. A big norm that receives positive sanctions in the skateboarding subculture is landing tricks. After somebody lands a trick, they usually receive a high five, a hug, sometimes even money in the form of a bribe. Since the skateboarding subculture is still a part of a larger culture, there are rules that the skateboarding subculture has to follow. For example, it's not completely legal to skateboard in certain spots like the college campuses or high schools, or even like public library parking lots. As a result of these negative sanctions, we're usually kicked out of skate spots by security guards or police officers. Sometimes the negative sanctions are worse than that, and they involve receiving tickets or having to go to court for trespassing on private property. Thank you for watching the tutorial video, and I hope you enjoyed being socialized to the skateboarding subculture.